nobody's fucking watching live yet, but I just wanted to start this live broadcast to my YouTube channel. I haven't done this in a grip, and hopefully some people will start tuning in. If not, then you can watch the replay of this. I hope that everybody's been doing pretty well. Yeah, I'm just hanging out, no real big agenda. I'm going to plug that Tune Tuesday's coming out tomorrow. We've got one viewer so far. What up, guy? Josh Vaughn. Hey, so yeah, we're hanging out here on Ross TV. Good to see you too, man, and Matt. So I've been doing, I'll catch you up on what I've been up to. Like I said, I haven't been on here in a little bit. So I've been doing like stand-up comedy every Monday, open mic. It's at a place that's really close to my house. And then every other Tuesday, I do an open mic at a hookah lounge. And I've been having pretty fun with it. It's been a pretty good time, you know. Tonight I was supposed to have gone to do the Monday open mic at the a place called the Hope Center. It's in kind of a bad area in the next neighborhood over. I've just drove through Roanoke last Saturday. Danny boy, whoop. But yeah, the Hope Center is this weekly open mic on Mondays at 9 o'clock, and I had written some material about Thanksgiving time and Pilgrims and Native Americans, and that was like the material anyway. But the group chat of comedians that I've been getting to know since like August, this is the first time they've canceled. I'm not sure why. But they were saying earlier today that the glass front to the Hope Center last Tuesday, someone tried to smash the windows but unsuccessfully broke all the way in, but the windows are all smashed up because someone was trying to break in. But that has nothing to do with why they canceled. I actually don't know why they canceled it tonight, but apparently it's a night off. So instead, I'm going to hang out with you guys and just talk for just a little while. And I hope everybody's been doing well. Yeah, Tune Tuesday, got the fucking banner going, and you'll see it tomorrow. I don't want to give anything away. It's no real big surprises or anything like that, but I worked on the episode a little bit ago, and it's finished, and it's like time to be released tomorrow at noon. So check that out. You know, Tune Tuesday is like the one video series that I am focusing on right now on the channel. And the Milkman, aka Iceman, is sick fucking bastard. Yes, that is very true, Danny boy. Yeah, Tune Tuesday is like I don't do as many. Yeah, Tune Tuesday every Tuesday, Matt, but like pretty much, you know what I'm saying? Like occasionally you'll notice that there might not be one for 1 week. In general, 90% of the time, Tune Tuesday is the most consistent thing that I have like rolling out the door. Occasionally, if I need the option, I will like skip a Tuesday, and I don't know if anyone notices that or not. But because last week there wasn't a Tune Tuesday, but this week there is one, so check it out tomorrow. And This is a leather-bound notebook my wife got me for our anniversary that was back in September. This is for my comedy writing. It's a leather notebook, and we've been married for 3 years, and each anniversary, Matt, you do notice? Well, I'm glad that you're paying attention like that. My stage name is just Ross Quessenberry right now. Quessenberry is my real last name. It's kind of a weird name, not a common name. I always considered if I was to like make some progress with stand-up and become like pretty good at it, that I might change the stage name to something like Ross Morgan, because my first name's Morgan, and I think that's an easier name. Hi, bye, Captain Jerk. What up? Glad you stopped in to fucking watch for a second. Thanks, Captain Jerk. Great to have you come in just for a second there. Much love. But anyway, yeah, my fucking stage name is Ross Quessenberry. It's just my regular name. Yeah, this, I was mentioning about this leather notebook is that, like, each anniversary of marriage, like the first year, it's like the paper anniversary. So, like, that year I got my wife, like, a deck of cards, and then on the cards I wrote, like, 52, things that I love about my wife, you know, like a cheesy little handmade gift. The second year, I already forgot what that was, the anniversary. But then the third year is leather, and my wife got me this leather notebook, which is where I keep this like yellow pad, which is where I write stand-up comedy. I also write the Toon Tuesday scripts on this. And it's pretty cool. It's got a spot for a pen. I keep a pen in there and stuff like that. This thing is the microphone that I record the audio for Toon Tuesday on. It's also, when I do my stand-up sets, I record all of my sets on this so I can listen to it later and hear what got laughs and what didn't get laughs. So, you know, I'm in the very early stages of like trying to like hone like the art form of stand-up comedy. So, you know, like it's like in its like very fetal stages. So, yeah, I get laughs sometimes. Other times I've bombed. You know, that's part of the process of doing stand-up comedy. I'm glad to say that like overall not too many times has it completely bombed, but one night early on it was a little bit of a crowd issue because there was some girls that were heckling there, and it was like this one girl's birthday. I don't know, you might be familiar with this kind of scenario with stand-up comedy. If like somebody's birthday and they came to the venue already drunk, and that girl was just like talking through everybody's sets, and it was hard to perform. I was at that particular night at the Hookah Lounge, was where this show was at. I was recapping a story of the gathering. Now my stand-up is more kind of like set up, punchline, and not so much like, well, I'm, you know, it's always changing and evolving. So I'm kind of like in this set that I wrote about Thanksgiving, it's like telling a story, but with more like set up, punch, and hecklers are self-entitled fucknuts, yeah. And especially when it's like, you know, when it's somebody's birthday, it's all about them, right? So they don't, and when they're like extra turn up on drinking, like they just don't give a fuck. Another thing that makes it difficult to perform some nights is if the crowd is not paying attention. You know, like I've gone to the hookah lounge before, and it's like a very reciprocative crowd to the comedy, and like a lot of people are paying attention and enjoying the fact that there's stand-up comedy. Because some people come and they're unaware that there's like an open mic for comedy, and they're just there to smoke hookah and drink. But if it's a good crowd, then that helps. But then other times, like if people aren't paying attention, that's like, you know, really really hard to get them to pay attention. Actually, the last hookah show, I noticed that when the other comedians were going up, like the people in the back especially, like they're not paying attention. So to get their attention, when I went up, I was like, let's get the energy up, you know? Fuck yeah, higher energy. And they're like, woo! And then like I'm like, you know what? And I took my whole like hoodie off and shirt off, and then I was shirtless. I took my shirt off and performed my set shirtless. But you quickly realize that you're not really allowed to do that, because the guy that was hosting the mic that night ran up to me, and the bartender said, he whispered in my ear, he's like, no shirt, no shoes, you know, no service. You're not allowed to be having no shirt in a bar. So I put my shirt back on, but like I did it like where you make it look like a bra, if you know what I'm talking about. Like you pull your shirt up and then like tuck it in. Do you ever listen to Kill Tony? I don't think I have done that. I don't know what that is, but I might check it out if I remember what you said. Kill Tony, I'm not sure what that is. 818 till I die. But anyway, I'm having fun doing stand-up comedy. Obviously, I'd love to be able to like push it up to the point where I'm like consistently like doing very well, but I mean that's gonna take some time. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to like toot me on the fucking horn and say like, oh man, I'm doing so great right out the gate. You know, but like I'm on the low end of or on the higher end of not too bad, I guess. So that's what's up. And then the mic that was supposed to go on has been canceled, so I've just been free to like catch up with you guys on this. I've been wanting to hang out and do one of these live streams here lately, and so I thought now is the perfect time to do it. I might go out and get some fucking fast food after this, because my whole night's I was looking forward to going to this open mic all day long. I wrote the set last night and had the material, but then all of a sudden it's canceled. On Instagram, I've been seeing a lot of Shaggy 2 Dope eating Wendy's food. Maybe if you're on Instagram you might have seen this, and if you're a juggalo, I'm assuming most people here are juggalos, but if not, Shaggy 2 Dope of Insane Clown Posse apparently loves the spicy chicken nuggets of Wendy's, and he's been trying to get this iced out Wendy's chicken McNugget chain, which I think they should give to him, because at Wendy's on Twitter, whoever runs Wendy's Twitter handle, they're always posting funny, humorous quips and things in the Wendy's like YouTube. Whatever, whoever runs their social media account. Silent J says you should do a Juggalo's review spicy chicken nuggets. Yeah, I don't think I've had the spicy chicken nuggets. Somebody told me that that's not. I don't eat at Wendy's too often anymore, so I know that they've got chicken nuggets, and I just assume that they've always had a spicy option, but maybe not. So because someone told me it's a temporary thing, and apparently Shaggy 2 Dope loves them. So, but anyway, I was saying it's that the Wendy's people need to fucking acknowledge Shaggy and give him a fucking spicy chain necklace. But maybe they are trying to like keep their hands off of the controversial Insane Clown Posse. Check out Kill Tony. It's on YouTube. New comedians do a minute with a panel of comedians giving feedback. I might have seen some of that before. Um, just back from a Antifa rally. Yeah. Um, yeah, I've seen where Bill Burr was on. If it's what I'm thinking of, I saw Bill Burr was on this panel of comedians, and they do a minute. Yeah, it has to be the same thing. I think I have seen Kill Tony. I saw where Bill Burr got angry because they were being very mean to one of the comedians. Maybe that it's not so mean actually, because maybe that's just how the show runs. I've only seen a little bit of it, but Bill Burr didn't seem like he liked the format in general, because it's hard to be funny in just a minute long. But I think I've seen what you're talking about, but I haven't delved very far into it. How many genders are there? Yeah, that was it. Yeah, so Bill wasn't a fan of it. Yeah, but I know what you're talking about. Fresh. Maybe I should check out more of that show, though. I'm constantly on YouTube watching advice from comedians and things like that. Hey, Brooklyn Menace. Good to see you, man. Um, Shout out to anybody that's going to be at Ballas on a Boat in December time. I'm excited and looking forward to that. I didn't go to Hallowicked, but my intentions and plans are to go to New York City and to be on the Statue of Liberty on a boat for the Insane Clown Posse event. Um, Dustin, whoop whoop. What's up, man? Brooklyn Menace is going to fucking be there on the Ballas on a Boat. That's fucking sick, because I think Brooklyn, remind me if you live in New York City still, because I know that I think you grew up there, but you might have moved to Philly or somewhere that seemed like, I remember in our conversations it seemed like you might have not, you don't live there now, you might have moved. So, but if you live in New York City or don't, let me know in the comments. I can't recall. Yeah, you moved to, it was a random place in Pennsylvania that, like, probably some town that no one's ever heard of, I believe. I think that is correct. This guy gets his salsa from New York City. Anyway, yeah, I fucking haven't been to New York City in a number of years. I love going up to New York City. I'm sure it'll be very, very, very cold the weekend of leading into Christmas. So I've got Under Armour. I wasn't able to find it the other week in my clothes drawer, but I reorganized, or my wife actually reorganized the drawer, and I've got like legging Under Armour and like Under Armour top, and I intend to bring like warm clothes. And my plans are to stay in a Airbnb with Rob and Cass and Blake. I need to talk to them about that and like solidify the plans, and because I think they're all flying out there, and as of right now I'm going to be making the 10-hour long drive. Driving 10 hours plus kind of sucks. I've done it many times, driven up to New York City, back and forth many times, down to Florida. I've driven out to Illinois for the gathering, and like every gathering I've driven there. But my wife doesn't fly, but I fly. So back in September, I went to Halloween Horror Nights in Universal Studios in Orlando, and I flew then because it was just me and not my wife. So anytime, that's like a 12-hour long drive done in 2 hours by plane. It's a fucking like no-brainer. And Allegiant, which is the flight place that I did my flying through, was like about as much as I would have paid in gas is what I paid to fly. So anytime I can fly, I would do that first before driving. and it's just me going up to New York. So I could have flown, but I just haven't looked into the flights or anything like that, and I just assumed that because it's around Christmas time that flights were going to be expensive, and I'll have a vehicle when I'm there, and I won't have to fuck around with renting a car, so I don't know. I don't really mind. It's not the worst thing ever to drive a long time, like 10 hours, you know. I've done it many times, so I'm pretty used to it. So yeah, stand-up comedy every Monday and every other Tuesday at a hookah lounge. At the every Monday one, it's at a place called the Hope Center, where that has an actual stage, and I like that. The hookah lounge, there is no stage, but you know they have a microphone, at least obviously, but it's just like no stage, just kind of like it's just the floor where everybody is like sitting and smoking hookah, but there's no stage. Um, so the Hookah Lounge show is every other Tuesday, and then the Hope Center is every Monday. Canceled it today. This is the first time that they've canceled it. I've been going consistently to all these since I've got back from the Gathering of the Juggalos back in August. Tonight was a canceled night, so I'm doing the live show. Tune Tuesday is tomorrow. I'm just like recapping all the topics that I've laid out in this episode, so I'll be wrapping it up probably in the next 9 minutes. Just plan to do like a 30-minute like jump on here and catch you guys up with this live stream type of a show. Gonna get some probably Wendy's food after I'm done streaming. Maybe it'll just be McDonald's because that's closer. Not really sure, but that's really all I can think of that's been going on in my life. I had a fun October. I did back in September, like I said, Halloween Horror Nights in Universal Studios. That was really cool. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Long Ross Silver's. the Long John Silver's that was close by shut down, so I can't go to Long John Silver's. Killer Clowns from Outer Space, House of a Thousand Corpses, Haunted House, which is the reason I went to that, and I was just like jaw on the floor, like amazed by that. Should have did that 3 times. I did a cornfield maze, like pumpkin patch visit with my mom and my wife in the month of October, which was fun. We got ice cream, kettle corn, rode a tractor ride to the pumpkin patch, and did the cornfield maze and checked out the animals, and had some beer and some food, like a pumpkin pie and like some pulled pork barbecue, and that was good. We went downtown the weekend leading into Halloween for a costume party, and we were like characters from The Handmaid's Tale. If you've seen that show on Hulu, it's about in the future this radical Christian group has taken over America, and then the men's wives who are infertile, they've taken like these women who are able to have babies as sex slaves, and they're the handmaids, and then they lay like in between the legs of the infertile wives while their husbands fuck the handmaids so that they can bear the married couple children, because the wives are unable to bear children. And I was the commander, and my wife was my wife, and then her friend was a handmaid, and she had like a fake pregnant stomach. And we went downtown and drank like 3 drinks each. My wife was not feeling well, so she didn't drink. Like that night, right before we went out, she all of a sudden felt sick. But then she was able to pull it together enough to still go out with us, and we all ended up having a fun time. And there was a Beastie Boys cover band that was really lit, and it was a lot of fun. We had a nice like buzz on, and it was actually an extremely fun time. And then actual Halloween, the day of Halloween, um, I watched horror movies. My wife worked until she had to come home. We had 30 trick-or-treaters come. We just stayed home and we passed out candy to the trick-or-treaters. And we had about 30 show up, which was pretty good considering it rained. And it was like rainy and it was like very, very windy. But 30 trick-or-treaters showed up. And we had a sign on the door because we live like on a second story of a shared apartment type of a house, and it said knock really hard, you know, because we were out there like on the porch stoop waiting for the trick-or-treaters to just come, but then it got like late, and at 10 p.m. there was like these teenager kids that came and they were getting candy. I gave them some candy, but then I tore the sign down because it was like 10 o'clock at night and we were done passing out candy at that point. But as late as 10 p.m. some teens came by and like I gave them some bags of candy. Some people get pissy when like older teenage kids come door to door for candy, but I don't give a shit about that. You know, I hooked them up with some candy, no problem. The horror movies I watched on the day of Halloween. Leading up to Halloween, we watched all the Scream movies again. You know, I've seen all this stuff before, but we watched Scream 1, 2, 3, and 4. I don't really recall. There was some other horror franchise I feel like we watched, but I don't remember it right now. But the day of Halloween, I watched Halloween, the original. I watched the Nightmare on Elm Street original. I watched... And when I say I watched them, I had them in the DVD player, and I was kind of like half paying attention and like doing other stuff. But then the third one that I put in was Jeepers Creepers, and then I chilled on the couch and watched and paid full attention to that. I really like that original Jeepers Creepers movie was a solid horror movie. The third one, if you saw that, I saw it in theaters a year or two ago whenever it came out. I liked it because I'm a fan of the movies, but I thought it was like not very good. It had like CGI effects in it. It looked like it was like made for TV, and it wasn't great. It wasn't very good. I saw the Joker movie. I'm about to wrap up this stream right now, but I'm just trying to think of some tidbits of knowledge on updates on my life that I can share before parting ways with everybody. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Fucking 7 people watching. Whoop whoop all day to that. And I saw the Joker movie. You know, obviously that's a fucking hyped up thing, and lots of people have seen it, and I liked it. I thought it was very good. Not like a typical comic book, like CGI, like shit show. Not that I mean, I liked Endgame pretty good, but I really see you, man. Bye, Josh. But Joker, Joaquin Phoenix, like my wife and her friend were talking about how they think he's kind of like a weird asshole, and maybe they're not wrong. You know, he's kind of weird, but he's a really good actor. You know. And I thought the movie was great. So, well, that's all the fucking time that we got tonight. You know, I wanted to do a tight 30-minute fucking show. Thanks to all the people that watched and just popped in real quick, even just for a second. I appreciate it so much. And I hope to be doing some more of these streams coming up in the near future. And, fucking check out Toon Tuesday tomorrow, and remember to vote and comment on the outcome of the episode when you're prompted for that. And yeah, thanks again for watching. So that's fucking it. We're going to end the broadcast. I haven't done this shit in a while, so I'm gonna figure out